Good afternoon, guys. Sorry it's a bit later and it's a little bit hot. I'm in my trucky singlet here. It crept up on us. I didn't put the aircon because I didn't think it was going to be that hot, and now it's pretty fucking hot. So forgive me there for the eyesore. Hey, we won. We won. We've won 5 out of the 7 weeks in 2026, coming off our losing day of last week. 3 winners again, our main 10-unit plays, and they all won. That carried the weight. All our value runners lost. We won 29 units, but 19 units we had a loser that ran second. Pensativa was a big second, but big margin second, but it still ran second. Pensativa on the Friday. Yeah, I think. Well, look, everybody won yesterday, which was good. We could have went ahead. I could have looked like a mug because there was Jolly Star, Tentyrus, Autumn Glow, Apocalyptic ended up getting beat. There was another one. There was a lot of good horses running that were favourites. And, I guess a lot of other good horses were rated. So we sort of looked for easier pickings and maybe more value. But there was only a few things were going to happen. We could have backed favourites and they could have got beat. And the Jolly Stars, the Tyrus won, and we would have looked like mugs going, well, why are we backing these things at 270, 250, and we could have had these great horses at the same price? Or the good horses might have got rolled and our ones won, and we would have looked like genius. But in the end of the day, everyone won. We had Weeping Woman too that was backed in well, and we had a good price, and that was a 10-unit play. Like, we thought she was a really strong chance. With less competition, she had a bit of competition, but less competition to say Jolly Star, Tentyrus. So it was pretty good value at around $3.80, $4. So I think she got back into about $3.20, but we did well. And maybe if you're getting tipped from those horses media and you're a bit of a favourite backer, we helped because we gave you these extra favourites on top of them, and you had a big day. But in the long run, you really want to just stick to our selections. I know you want to have your own plays. If you do, maybe smaller bets there or tips from the media. But because we've won 5 of our 7 days, and there's a reason for it. Although our top selections are carrying the weight, we do have, the way I design it is that our lowest, if our outsiders with some unit plays, they win, we win. If our favourites win, they win. So our favourites, our 10-unit plays can get beat, and we can still win for the day if we have an outsider. And let's forbid the day that we have our big unit plays and we have an outsider. That's when we're going to get a big unit return. So the first day in January, we lost 9 units with only the one winner, a Ninja. And then out of 4 selections, midweek there, we had 2 winners out of 4 selections in a midweek, and then 3 winners there on the 10th of January, 3 winners on the 17th of January, 1 winner on the 24th, and there we go. It was an 8-unit play. Everything else was quite small, and we won for the day. And then we had 2 winners here, and then what was very disappointing, last week we didn't have a winner, and we had 2 10-unit plays here with Tortani Fields and 10 Deep, and I don't know if it's just an excuse, but like I said, we played Doomman to play Doomman. There should have been a track bias to leaders, and it was opposite. So we were just on the wrong side of the way the track played there. And, if you look, we have winners. It was the first week we didn't tip a winner. And although we only had 4 selections when 2 of them blew out, we only had 4 selections to be truthful and didn't get a winner. So it ain't that bad, right? And we've done it again with 3 winners, all our top unit plays. Mate, if you go to our best bets, these are 8 units or further. Look at the ray of yellow. What we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losers. Actually, I'm missing one here. 6 losers I had as a 10-unit play. Pencil TVA, I'll put that in. But that's pretty impressive. That sea of yellow against the others. So we are really getting it right with our top unit plays. Hopefully that continues. I want to talk about, again, horses blowing out. I've got this horse in red, Conchero, and I've got this horse in green. I just I want to tell you about the market again. As much as we know, the market, they know stuff that we don't know. As simple as that. Look, we're a bit lucky because 60's only put in last minute and Savagey by vibe. Let's go to the 60's, right? Here we go. Here's the map. Now, the map's got it going forward, but we know Waller, barrier 11, grand final was third up in Australian Guineas. And I heard Waller, I try to listen to most interviews, but sort of regret that. I reckon just stick to my ratings and form as the trainers and jockey. These interviews are throwing, making things worse, not better. But, and this is an example, I heard Waller say from barrier 11, 60's is going back and to run on. And in the end of the day, 60's I didn't have in. I had $2.10 for 60's, and I didn't like it. And this was Space Rider in the race, and I liked the horse that ran second, the one with the country form with 2 stars, 2 wins. I thought them two slight dangers. $2.10, didn't want to know, get 60. Space Rider out, then $1.80. I said, I'm happy with this $1.80. It's only got one danger. So I made a decision to put 60's in, even though I was going to go back. I thought Flemington Straight, Damien Lyon balance him up, and he's only got one to beat. The rest he's got covered, and he should win. But cut long story short, D Lane, he went forward, not all the way. He was caught a bit deep, but he was positive, should know with a good jockey. But the market knew, $1.80 and $1.60. If the market thought he was really going to go back, like the trainer actually told us, he said it. He was like, we are going back. He said it, I heard him. Like there was nothing. That's the trainer's instructions. I don't know how much they listen to Waller for that sort of stuff, but he normally goes back or scratches from my barriers. But the market knew. I didn't know. I thought it was going back. I heard it from the trainers going back. I think it was going back. It was a risk I was happy to take. But they wouldn't have backed it into $1.80 to $1.60 if they thought he was going to go back. Cranbourne, race 6, Friday night. Here we go. We had Conchero. Here we go. Conchero. The horse was $270 when I tipped it to you guys. We put a max price of $350. So if it goes past $350, don't touch it. The horse went $4. The reason why I put my blowout prices are all different. Generally, it's got to do how much of a percentage from the price in the market, but sometimes it's the way I read the form. This Conchero, Cranbourne, so it's going to go to the front, had one to beat Princess Q a little bit. So if you've got a 2-horse race, you want $2. So there's something else in there. I said, if this horse goes $3.50, 2.5 times your money, you read the form, it's clear. There's no way this horse should start more than $3.50 Conchero on Friday night at Cranbourne. There's something wrong. There is something wrong. Now, I just expect this horse to go to the front and be too hard to beat. Here's the speed map, Conchero. They've got the speed map. I've just stuffed it up here. But there we go. Look how far Conchero they got in front. And that's what I expect. I know the horse did the form. I expect the horse to lead, especially like that in Cranbourne. It didn't lead. It didn't lead. And it blew out from $270. Horse that probably could be backed into $2. It blew out to $4. It's there for everyone, there for the map to see. They know what the jockey's intentions are. They know from the yard. There's inside information with Betfair, there's this and that. So when a horse blows out past our max price, again, I keep saying it, as much as we know, like I said, I don't want to hear any more trainers' interviews. I don't want to hear many jockeys. But the market knows more than those trainers in the interview. That the market speaks, I want to listen. Market speaks, I want to listen. And we said, like, how many horses have got beat with the market? So, yeah. So, look, it was a good day because I almost didn't put 60's in. We did. We're always going to have Weeping Woman. And that was a very good find. And again, we said this horse got tactical advantage. It's going to go to the front. It's going to be hard to beat. And they backed it and it went to the front. Do you know what I mean? Like, it did what we expect and the market was on side. No coincidence there. what was I going to say about another horse? Oh, yeah, we tipped Savagery Vibe. That was a good win. I didn't even do Savagery Vibe on my preview. It was a last minute because we had this rain from Eagle Farm, and the amount of rain was meant to be a heavy track for sure. And Savagery Vibe, I really was keen over the 1200, and it had a good second, a soft 7 to Randwick to High Dubai, who I've backed before on a wet track. It's a really good wet tracker. So I knew, but it was a soft 7 that day, and I didn't want it too heavy. So even though Savagery Vibe was third up, it was still jumping for the 1000 to 1200, then a heavy. I thought it might be too much, but the track came up a soft 6. So I made a last minute call to include him, and it finished a soft 7. And it was the right call, and we won there. So sometimes it's quite hard to, to pivot, but you got to pivot. Look, to tell the truth, I thought it was a very tricky day yesterday. Very tricky. I thought it was tricky, but it ended up very, very straightforward too. All the top horses won. The ones that were meant to. Jolly Start, first up specialist. We gave My Gladiola a big chance. Tyrus, the high rater, he came through. The only one ended up tricky. Apocalyptic for barrier 1 was a bit slow to begin, and Savvy Halley had a nice, was fit on the pace, and he couldn't run it down. Other than that, mate, I reckon the bookies copped an absolute hiding. And it normally happens next Saturday. You'll find a lot of favourites will get beat. If the bookies have had such a bad day somehow, I don't know, call it coincidence or whatever, the next week a lot of faves get beat. So we'll watch out for that. And hopefully we can do it again. Once another couple of weeks, more horses resuming, start to see them come back, it should be easier and more straightforward and more confident. So keep winning these next couple of weeks. I expect them to have some really good weeks after that going forward. Hey guys, remember, stick to the rules, and I hope you've done well, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.